Our passion project is to design a fence, but not just any fence. We are attempting to build a fence that will help all native animals migrate and move freely. We decided to do this as our passion project because it's a very important issue in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. We believe that pronghorn and other native animals should be free to roam. The most common type of fencing for livestock in the USA is barbed wire fence. The problem with barbed wire fence is, of course, the barbs. The barbs are twisted around the wire to prevent livestock from escaping, but it also prevents native animals from getting to where they need to be. Cattle have a habit of leaning on wire and other objects, so the barbs are made to prevent that habit. One of the first things that we learned while doing research for this project was that pronghorn travel under fences, so we can't just reduce the height of the normal fence. There needs to be space for them to go under the fence. We also learned that their fur gets stuck in the barbs on the barbed wire fence. Another thing we realized is that we need to build this fence for animals besides just pronghorn. When we did research on elk, we found out they usually jump over fence. The same goes for deer. Another animal that we hadn't thought about when coming into this project were birds. It turns out they can get stuck in fences if they can't see the wire, so the fence needs to be visible to them. Pronghorn, deer, elk, birds, and bighorn sheep are all animals that have had trouble crossing fences and at one time have been caught in them. One of the main animals that have had issues with getting caught in fences are pronghorn. When we came into this project, we thought that pronghorn typically jumped over fences, but one of the first things that we learned about these beautiful animals is that they tend to go under fences because they have a low jump height. So there's a high chance of their fur rubbing against the barbs on the wire. Another animal that commonly gets caught in fences are deer. The deer that most commonly get stuck in fences are the younger ones. This is because they don't have a high enough jump height to get over fences. When we first thought about making a safe fence, we realized that we need to get rid of the barbed wire because it causes animals to get tangled in it. Our first thought was that we could use smooth wire so animals can't get stuck. We soon realized that the wire may be able to bend and catch the animals. Then we thought about putting something around the smooth wire that won't bend as easily and still won't catch the animals. Finally, we came to the conclusion that we could put split flex tubing over the wire, so the wire can't bend and the barbs can't catch the animals. One of the hardest things about designing an alternative to barbed wire fencing is the price. It's obvious that if you add one thing to another, it's going to be more expensive than the original price. We believe that if materials were made in mass production, their prices would go down. Here's our idea for a fence that is safe for all native animals. The flex tubing will prevent the wire from bending, twisting, and wrapping around the animal's legs by making the wire stiffer. The flex tubing will also spin when an animal is trying to pass over or under the fence. The middle wire will stay barbed to prevent cattle from leaning on the fence. The top and bottom wire will be located closer to the middle because it will allow pronghorn to go under and will make it less difficult for deer and other animals to jump over. Although our main goal of this project was to design a fence for native animals, we also wanted to raise awareness about this problem. Just because it may cost more to make safer fences, we can't let these animals down. This is an issue that can't be overlooked.